Welcome, everybody. It's October the 16th, and we're going to start the Park and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. And we do have a quorum, and I call this meeting to order. And I want to welcome our new Park and Recreation Advisory Committee member. It's Michael Dial. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being here. And excuse me, and welcome to the Parks Board.
Thank you, sir.
And that being said, we're going to run on down to old business. Number one is Howl at the Moon. It's October the 20th, and it's at 8 p.m.
That's this Friday. How many we got signed up, Julie?
We've got about 30-ish so far, but the majority will happen the night of.
Yeah, they all come out the night of and do it. So, but we're expecting a good run. It seems to go better on Fridays than any other day. So I know it's not convenient blocking roads off, but at the same time, they really seem to enjoy it. So
We don't have anything in Murfreesboro going on, do we?
not that I'm aware of. They did theirs last Saturday.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that
we
was-
should be good on that because
Okay.
when we have to compete with them, it does cause some problems.
Yeah.
I know moving it back an hour, it was at 7, moving back to 8, does help a lot during the
does help.
traffic. And the runners ought to have the weather Friday's supposed to be ideal.
Yeah.
The weather's cooling off, so the runners ought to have a good night to run.
Yeah, and we'll present them with their medals and their prizes and stuff under Pavilion B, and we'll have bananas and things, that runners like to eat after a race. So they should be good. It should be
Now,
good.
they start at the Veterans Memorial Park,
Right.
run to City Hall, and then go back
Right.
to the
The
park.
start line is the lower parking lot down by the ball complex, at the very back of the lower parking lot. So we'll have a big sign and a timer and everything set up there. Rabbit Road Racing is going to come out and do our time the race, so it's all official. They put bibs on them, and they have electronic chips in them, so they're registered when they cross the line. So there shouldn't be any disputes on time. But because when you take off and your chip's active, when you come back, it'll register with the computer that you've crossed the finish line.
Great.
It tells you exactly what time. So
Good deal.
We don't have any trying to go halfway down and turn around and come back, do we?
well, we haven't seen anybody do that, but we have Box 100 and police officers scattered down throughout there. But
I'd be watching for
I
that.
tell you what, as fast as some of them finish, you would think they went halfway and turned around because
Yeah.
they turn in some incredible times. Some of those people, boy, they can fly.
Yeah,
They really can.
yeah, we'll be down giving them water behind the
Right. I know you,
Denver, yeah.
you,
I'll be probably, they usually like to see me up at Merchandise Mart, so I'll be blocking the traffic up there.
yeah, you worked at just about every one of them, hadn't you, Bob?
Oh, yeah, been to every one. Unfortunately, I don't know if you all know about the race for K. It didn't turn out.
Yeah, we knew. We heard about that.
That's kind of,
Lack of participation, I think, but it got shifted around so many times that people's schedules didn't fall in line, so it wasn't a good way to go.
so that's done for this year.
That's a police event. I'm not sure, but I would think that it probably is.
Hopefully next year when the Greenway gets officially open, hopefully we can have a lot of them runs on the Greenway.
Yeah.
And that'll eliminate all the traffic problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
It sure will.
Be safer too.
Back parking lot back here is big enough to set up a start and finish, and
Yeah.
pretty good. That'll be good.
It's safer and it'll be a whole lot less manpower to put it on too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, then you won't have to block off any roads. You won't have. But you can put some checkpoints down through there, but you won't have to do anything other than that.
Right.
So,
Anything else on the,
So they would start here by the library and then run all the way down to the circle.
to the roundabout and back.
roundabout and come back.
Yeah, that's a mile and a half right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be a much better way to do it. And I see us having a lot of runs there in the future. So
anything else on the Howl at the Moon? Move on to number 2, that's Trail of Treats. And that evening, we'll have the movie in the park. It's October 28th, and that's on a Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., and the movie starts at 6 p.m.
yep. That's 6. Well, actually, I'm sorry. It starts at 6:30.
6:30, okay,
Yeah.
let me change that.
Change that on there.
Change
But And that's the following weekend, so we got a lot of stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually, have a best costume contest as well. So we'll do that probably around what time, Julie, 3:30, did we say?
30-ish.
Yeah, and also, Sonic, I guess, is still gonna give away their bicycles.
I have not confirmed that with them, but usually they do come out with that.
Yeah.
I see.
So we'll do all that toward the end of it, but, it gets bigger every year. I mean, the people that come out, it's crazy. I cannot believe there's that many people out there. And we've seen some really good costumes the last couple of years. That's why we decided to have a costume contest. And we'll have different age groups too, so it's fair, you know, so.
One year I just kind of estimated, I lost count, between 2,000 and 4,000 people.
You're right.
I mean,
And weather has a lot to do with it too, and and if it's nice, there'll be a bunch of them there. There always are.
I know I had a booth there a lot of the years and giving out candy, and just, I don't know where these people, they just kept coming and kept coming, and I run out of candy about almost an hour before it was over with. I just
Yeah.
didn't estimate as much candy, and I thought I had a truckload full, but
Yeah.
it just didn't last.
Well, and that's the thing too, people make lots of laps around to get that candy, so
Yeah, some of the people, I thought I seen more than once.
you probably did, yeah.
Yes, Trail of Treats is always popular.
Yeah.
It's been popular for a year. It always, free candy always brings out the crowd.
You got that right, they do. And we're hoping that, we've pinned the movie down to Monster House. We're gonna do Monster House, so that's
Awesome.
good and kid-friendly, so that should be a good one.
I'll be a full house up there for that
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Is the movie going to be on the football field, or is it going to be a drive-in?
No, it's gonna be a drive-in movie. That seems to be very popular, you know, I mean, depending on weather, so, I mean, we had the one on the football field where there wasn't even a spot to sit down. I mean, it was really big, but that's been a year or two ago that we did that. Yeah, so the drive-ins are everybody really likes the drive-ins.
And football also is scheduled.
Yeah, and football's scheduled to play that day as well, so.
Okay. Now, do you have room for vendors to participate in the Trail of Treats?
Have what?
For a vendor or business to participate in the Trail of Treats?
Do we do that? I mean,
Well,
Who passes out the candy?
yes,
Yeah.
there's plenty of spots. Please give us a call, yes.
Do you have an application online that
There
you could
should
direct
be.
people
If
to?
not, I'll make sure there is
Okay.
tomorrow. If there's not, but there should.
So you do have more room for people to participate?
yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
yeah, lots of businesses come out and bring.
any business that wants to show up and pass out candy, I think they're encouraged to do
Oh,
that.
yeah, we do.
And they don't have any fee, they just show up or
It's
contact
totally
you?
free for vendors
right.
and the public, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, and we need all the help we can get with the way the turnout's been. We want everybody to pass out candy.
And the Park and Rec, they'll have a tent, they give
Oh,
away
yeah,
candy.
yeah, we'll give it away too.
It'd be the city tent, I guess.
Yeah, well, the city will have one, and then we'll have one set up probably right near it.
Right.
Will the seniors be setting one up this year, do you know?
We usually do. I don't see why not. I'll talk to Cassidy tomorrow, but I'm sure that there's gonna be some participation from the seniors. You know, Scott usually comes out and helps Cassidy and,
Right.
a couple of the other seniors, and you're more than welcome if you want.
Well, I know try to help as much as I can.
I know, you do a lot.
And Donna in the library, she usually
We'll
has a
have one for
tent.
sure, yeah.
She usually has the face painting
Yeah.
and other stuff.
Yeah, the Trail of Treats, I mean, it's always fantastic. And that leads us down to new business. Number one on new business is Veterans Day ceremony. It's almost on us here, October the 11th.
I know it.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
clicking
gonna
off
be here
quick.
before you know it. And we're gonna try it on a Saturday this time, since, every time here the past few years, it's been during the week, and we've had a lot of people come and have concerns about they don't get to come to it because they're at work. Well, this being on a Saturday morning, hopefully we'll have a bigger crowd come out for that and come out and honor the veterans. And we're gonna do it up by the wall again. I think that's a really good spot to do
Yeah,
it.
I like it better up there.
Yeah, we'll put a stage up. We've contacted a couple of speakers to come out and speak at the event, so, yeah, we're looking forward to that one.
No, thank you.
Well, that's the day the VA is having their.
Are they having one too? What time is theirs?
It's usually about 10, something
Okay.
like that. And they have bands, high school bands.
Oh,
and
really?
things like that.
Okay.
Different schools.
They usually last about an hour, so maybe we,
That's usually about what it runs, you know, by the time everything's said and done and, you know, everybody speaks and, it usually lasts about an hour.
I know the local veterans, really enjoy that. They really, and I think they really like it better at the wall. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen.
That
heard
adds
from a
feel
lot.
to it, you know, with the wall being there and all the veterans' names and the flags and all, it's nice.
And, the lady always comes and passes out the little American flags.
Yeah, that's Miss Kay.
Miss Kay.
Yep, Kay Jones comes and does that.
You can always count on her being there.
Oh, yeah.
Will you have information available at the ceremony for the brick program? Will you have that available?
Sure.
If someone wants to purchase a brick?
Yep.
I think that would be a real appropriate time.
We usually keep those, we have a tent set up there as well, and we'll usually keep some forms under there.
Okay.
And it's still advertised on Laverne Channel 3.
Right.
It's on Channel 3
And people are still buying bricks. I mean, they're still coming. They're not, you know, they're not selling out like crazy, but they're at a manageable rate. So where we can get them, we usually, after we get 10 orders, we usually purchase those 10. That helps us keep down the cost on shipping and stuff. And then we'll go put them up then. And then when 10 more come in, we'll do the same thing. So
About how many bricks are up now? Just an estimate. I was
that's
curious.
more of a David question, but I'd say there's got to be. I'm gonna say what, about 800 or so. I'd say because there's like I think there was 1,000 and something tiles that were available, and the spaces are going fast. I mean,
Okay.
you can I went up there today and looked at it. It's there's way more bricks with names on them than not, so they're going pretty
Very
quick.
nice.
it won't be too long before it'll be full.
Exactly. Yeah.
and we'll have to start
We'll have to start looking at doing something else.
well, I was up the other day and we could go right beside it, you know, and angle it and add another wall if we.
We could, and we talked about that. We talked about making a couple of shorter walls, maybe half the height, and going out to the sides and kind of coming back down toward the parking lot. That would look good.
Yeah, if I recall right, when we originally, or the original plans presented was to expand it. So that's pretty good that it's already at that point.
I know, if you get a chance, go up and look. It's really, I mean, it's hard to describe, but when you're standing there looking at it, it's something else.
It really gets you when you got a family member that's
Absolutely.
on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, it really touches you.
We've had some really good stories come out of the wall and people that go up and see their bricks, you know. I think, John, were you involved in that one where the lady went up and was trying to find out if was it two German ladies? I can't remember. They were trying to find out if their brick was on the wall, and it was in Randy's hand. He was just fixing to put it on the wall. And,
Yeah.
and Randy said, well, ma'am, do you want to put it on the wall? She started bawling. She was crying. That was really nice, and I'm glad he thought to do that, but he let her place the brick on the wall.
Oh,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
Well, it's certainly been a really nice addition to Veterans Memorial Park. In fact, I was just
Absolutely.
talking to someone in the community about that they really like that addition, so.
Well, and I also like too, on the back side of the wall, the new Veterans Memorial sign with the light. I'm really just happy that the public has more than anything embraced it, and we haven't had any issues of vandalism or any, you know, it's been really good. Other than they broke the lights when we first put them up, but that was a year ago, so.
I know for a long time people mentioned that it was Veterans Memorial Park and we don't even have American flag there.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I wondered about that a lot coming in. I was like, we got to do something with that. So
we put the flag in the memorial wall, and it's really coming in good up there,
it is. It really is.
you know.
Now, if a veteran's got a plaque up there and he's alive, and he passes on, do you put another past date on it, or?
Well, that's up to the family. If they want to pursue that, then maybe we could do that. We haven't had that happen yet, but, you know, I don't see why not, you know. But Yeah, we
I know-
gotta put them up for everybody.
I know some of the bricks, it's got the date that he was
Service,
active.
yeah.
Right.
He was active service.
Right.
yeah,
And then some of them has got, other dates, but most of them is got his,
They say deceased on there.
yeah,
It'd be from a
Right.
certain date until a certain date, then that tells me that he's deceased.
right. But a lot of them just got their time that they was active.
right.
I know if you're a career 20 years and then you're inactive for 10 after that. Had a cousin in the Navy and he served 20 years and he got out, but he was inactive for 10 years. They can still call you back within that 10-year period. If needed. So actually,
That's what happened to me.
yeah, you was in, so you was in for 20 and then inactive.
Not for 20, but I was in for 2 years. They drafted me, and then after I
Okay.
got out, I had to spend 10 years inactive duty.
Yeah, inactive, yeah. You don't get no money for that, do you?
Well, when I drew my social security, I applied for it and I got it.
Okay. Well, that's a great deal.
Well, I know when my brother and them was here and I took them to the Veterans Park, he was just amazed at the plaque and, he said, this is nice.
Good. I'm glad we finally got something.
It's very nice up there. But it's got 2 benches on the side,
Yeah.
so people can go up there and meditate or whatever, and it's
Well,
nice.
I've seen a lot of people just sit there and read a book
Yep.
Yes,
on a pretty day.
Yeah.
I have
Seen a
to.
lot of people up there taking pictures and, yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie asked me, he said, is there one up there for me? I said, not yet. So that means I've got to get a brick for him.
Yeah. You can't leave him out.
No, I can't leave him out. He spent his 20 years.
Have we had any come up to ask for assistance in purchasing a brick?
No, we haven't had anybody ask that. Pretty much everybody either contacts Laura or comes in and they just purchase them,
Okay.
right there on the spot or over the phone. Nobody's come in and asked for
That's good.
assistance yet, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that everybody's proud of, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Number 2 on new business is Parade of Lights. It's December the 2nd. It's at 6 p.m. A lot of people make out at the Christmas parade, but it's really the Parade of Lights.
Right. And I know I say that's a little ways out, but it's really not. Before we know it,
Be here before you know it.
it's just a little over a month away now, a month and a half away. But, yeah, we put that on there. We're looking forward to that as well. And there are parade applications online for that too, right, Julie?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Yeah, we'll get those put on there
And that always draws a big crowd.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
The parade and the Laverne High School comes by there and the chorus and always does a fine job. And last couple of years, we've had pretty decent weather,
Yeah, we sure have. And we moved, I think last year we moved everything over to the side over here. So, I mean, the weather, last year, I think it rained on us a little bit, but before that, we were having it over here and everybody was having a hard time here. And so I think it worked out better over here. And plus, we put that new tree out here too, so.
Yeah, that new tree was pretty.
Yeah.
And that rain was much better than that 20-degree weather that one year was cold.
Yeah, a
It was
couple times in the last few years, it's been really cold.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the seniors go out and do hot chocolate and shoot, it's gone.
It's
Like
gone.
20
It goes
minutes.
quick. I think each year they try to get more and
Well,
it just
we-
goes.
We did, I want to say 20 gallons, the year before last, and it was gone. And I mean, 20. in
Gone
20 minutes.
quick.
Gone as you can pour it, fast as you can pour it up, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it draws a good crowd. It's always has. Even the year that it rained a little bit, we had a good crowd that night.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that the year that I was honored to be, it was cold.
Yeah. Oh, did you freeze on that ride?
I cruised in there, but it was nice and warm. Top was down, but it was warm.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good meeting. We discussed a lot of stuff. The next meeting will be November the 20th at 6 p.m., in which it will be a workshop.
Correct.
It will be a workshop. And again, I want to welcome Michael Dow. He's the new member. Michael, you got anything you want to say?
Just thank you all for having me, and I'm looking forward to helping in the community.
We're excited to have you on board here at the Park and Rec, and you picked one of the best boards to be on if you're going to pick one. The Park and Rec's always does great things.
Well, Mayor, before we wrap it up, I did want to, I got the slide set up here. I wanted to show somebody, I think the board members had asked about the splash pad and where it might go. If you see the colored areas over there, that's the tentative areas for it, what we're looking at. And when you drive into the park, it's immediately the left front field, the small field up front. That's what you're looking at there.
That greenish
Green
color.
area is what that's a parking area and the splash pad and.
Are you talking, or I say you're pulling in,
Off of me.
where they usually practice football?
Right there in the front. Well, they practice in the
Left or
front small field on the left, and then they practice in the big field up in the front too. But that's where you're looking at is the small field over here. It's directly, if you're standing and looking at the memorial wall and you turn around, it's directly behind you.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was by there the other day, and I didn't
Yeah,
realize,
picture.
I didn't really realize how big that area was. But that's a
It
big
is a big
area.
area.
It's bigger than I thought it was.
Well, and that's what it'll look like if we put a parking lot and the splash pad in there, and that's with bathrooms and everything.
Well, we already got the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're talking about expanding it up there. Is what
Yeah, it won't hurt.
is what Jamie drew on the drawings.
We need some more parking anyway up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But see, you see the wall up there to the
Right,
left?
uh-huh.
Yeah. And then that's just that. And then she drew pictures for it to go over by the skate park too. But the more we look at it, this is going to be better over
Yeah, I like the front. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't realize that area was that big.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Till I went up
pretty
there.
big.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's going to be the better area. Plus, when you're riding by, it'll, kind of like when you ride by in Smyrna and see their splash pad, it'll be kind of like that, so.
How much of that would be fenced in?
Well, we're going to have to put a fence around the whole splash pad part of it, because, just for safety reasons more than anything else. And anytime the splash pad's open, we'll have to have an attendant, and that'll probably be seasonal workers that we hire in to do that. But we plan on putting a fence around the whole splash pad.
Okay.
Will there be an admission, or will it be free, or?
That's something we still got to talk about. I mean, it'd be nice to charge enough to cover the cost of the seasonal person that's going to be there. But, I mean, there are going to be a lot of maintenance costs that go along with having something like this too.
What does Smyrna do?
They've done a couple of different things, and right now, I don't think, are they charging right now? Do you know, Julie?
I believe they're charging
They
now.
were
last
charging
I
$1
looked.
to get in.
Right,
Yeah, and they were doing that for the same reason, to cover the cost of the person they had,
Right, and if I remember, last time I looked, when I seen those positions posted with the town of Smyrna, the pay rates were about $10 an hour for that
it's something
seasonal
like that.
part-time person. And also offsetting costs, I really think that we should, like the town of Smyrna and some other municipalities, offer birthday parties prior to or prior after, which will help assist with some of the funding.
Well, we went out to, where was that, Lebanon, we went and looked.
Several.
They have, the way they had their setup is they had a big pavilion with bathrooms. They had 2 pavilions connected to the bathrooms in the middle and dressing rooms, and the splash pad was directly out behind it. So but you could have 2 parties at the same time going on if you wanted to. And they each had their private area, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea of a birthday party, because
Yeah.
Right.
that'd be
Oh,
a
yeah.
perfect, that'd be a no-brainer.
Right.
What kid wouldn't want their birthday at the splash
Right.
pad,
That's right.
especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and there's lots of other ways that a splash pad would help the city. As far as I've read and looked at some of the research from Parks and Recreation, the National Parks and Recreation, how it brings economic vitality to the community, whereas people now will go visit Smyrna, Murfreesboro. they're spending more dollars just on visiting that, spending it back in the community, whether it be eating out, but dollars will come back into the community also,
Right.
having more attractions within the city of Laverne.
Yep.
I know our grant writer, she's checking if there's any grants available, then also we're checking to see if any corporations in Laverne wants to kick in any money to maybe put their name on some of the little water things. I think some cities has done that over the years.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we don't need to check with the Christie Houston Foundation again.
Well, I would like to, I already told Montique that I'd like to work with her because I was the one on the Lake Forest project that there's different ways to get different funding. I have some different ideas, but I already told Montique I'd like to work with her on some suggestions. I did want to let you know that I did look the state grant funding. There will be a application workshop. They have not announced it, but typically for this next round that's opening up with the state will be somewhere in December of this year.
Okay. Keep us posted on that. That's good information to have.
I know last year when we first talked about it, my granddaughter come to me and says, Paul, you need to build me a splash pad. So the kids is really wanting it, and I think a lot of the parents is really wanting it. And I've got very, very little negative feedback about a splash pad.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would, and even if there was some negative feedback, once it got up and running, I think everybody would be happy about it.
And especially after Smyrna got theirs up, they go by there and they kind of got itchy feet, we want to hurry up and get ours up because Smyrna's does look good up there.
It does, it looks real good.
And I think it's got people eager about getting ours. I think people is wanting some digging to be started over there pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so too.
And
But that's all I had on that. I just wanted to show y'all the drawings that she had sent me and know that it's, we got that much of it done, so we'll keep moving forward and Montique keeps looking and, we'll, hopefully get a grant to help with some of that and.
well, and then the council already done earmarked some money toward it.
Some money
so
for it setting aside.
hardest part of getting something is getting it started.
Right.
So, we've got it started, we got some money irrigated for it, and we got Montique and people checking on the funding, so hopefully the wheels will start moving a whole lot faster now.
And what specifically was that money earmarked for?
The
Well,
splash pad.
When you set aside money like that, you have to, in order to get a grant or to move forward, you have to have engineered drawings of the plan so that they can see that you have taken steps in that direction. So there has to be money set aside for it. Like Griggs and Maloney, for instance, they won't just come and do a bunch of drawings for you unless if you set aside money for that project. You know what I mean?
So the funding set aside was specific to site engineering fees,
Well,
planning, development?
It could be.
Yeah, it could be.
But now, like Griggs and Maloney, they could decide to donate their time.
Right.
So that money that we earmarked for the splash pad could go to engineering, but Griggs and Maloney is good about donating. I think the engineering on the wall, didn't they do some?
Jamie did that for free.
They done that for free, so it may be that they'll do this for free. I don't know, but.
Well, I'm not sure that she didn't do these drawings right here for free so far, because I don't remember anybody saying anything about paying cost for this, but, she sent all this stuff to me, and I think she did this for, as a tentative plan to move forward.
It's a good possibility we get this splash pad built and, for very little cost to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
If everything goes I know we want it to go.
Right.
But, it was in the planning stages now, but I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, when you get to the point, I would like to work on the sponsorship and go out and help. I have some ideas specific to different building levels that we can incorporate and some different ideas. So when you get to that point, make sure that I would like to help with that piece. I have some different ideas, so. Because I think I really feel that we can get a lot of different sponsorship, but we have to have the ideas because they want to see their company name or their logo out there, so some different ideas to incorporate the two.
Right. Yeah, if they want to put their name on something and donate, $100,000 or something, well, that's good. Let's put their name on it.
I know Bob always said that if he hits the lottery, he's gonna build a youth center. So if any of us hits the lottery for $2 or $3 million now, this splash pad now, don't forget about us.
Well, also too, before we adjourn, I would like to welcome John back, and he has a newborn baby. Sorry we didn't have the pictures to put up there, John, but he's a brand new daddy, his first time, so.
First time, oh, well.
Yeah, but we only congratulate
Congratulations.
him and glad he's back. How long was you out? About 6 months? That's what it seemed like.
Just 4 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
I know the last time I seen you on any time is when we was redoing this boardroom here. And what that's been, it's been 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mayor.
yeah.
But I mean, y'all, take this boardroom, I mean, in-house worked hard on this and we saved the taxpayers a lot of money because we done most of it ourselves other than the furniture
Well-
and the carpet.
And,
We just about done it all else ourselves.
Everything else, and also the fire hall of the Civic Auditorium, where we redid that over there. That was pretty much all in-house too, other than their furniture, so.
Are they gonna have an open house?
You have to ask Ricky about that. I'm not sure. I don't want to commit him to anything.
I do have a question, now that we only have one rental facility available for the citizens of Laverne. Is there, and I know I brought this up several times, but I think now is a realistic time to look at, since we only have one indoor rental facility, that we give first priority to the citizens of Laverne and have a higher fee for those that don't live inside the city limits. I would like to recommend that we look at that, especially since we only have one facility now, if that's something we could look at in the future, that way.
And it's always rented.
And that's my
rented for
concern,
weeks or months out now, so.
Right.
But that's something I think we'd have to take before the board if we're gonna make a change like that. But yeah, we could, if you want
Look
to
at
put
that.
that on as a recommendation, I'll get with Bruce and we'll put it on there as a discussion item.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea there, because I think it ought to be available for the citizens of Laverne before
Yes.
it would be available for somebody outside the city for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we get very many outside of Laverne?
They come from everywhere. I mean, all the local area, even outside of Laverne, they come from everywhere. Yes, a lot of Antioch people.
It's really a low-cost rental, and I don't know of any other place, Laverne, Smyrna, or even Antioch, that you can rent a building that size with, it's always
With a full
clean.
kitchen, too.
Full kitchen, well, no, it don't have a full kitchen down at the, multipurpose.
Well, yeah, it's got a stove and it's got a microwave and a refrigerator in it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's got everything in it.
I guess it does, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
And, the sound, it's
That's
kind
the
of
only
hard.
thing. And I've looked into acoustic panels for the ceilings. They're pricey. They are expensive, but,
Well, I thought, we didn't have that problem down there when it had carpet on the floor.
well, yeah, the carpet absorbs all that sound.
That might be the cheapest way to go is put carpet. I love the floor down there,
I do
but,
too.
but,
But you know what? And now that that's down, we could always put carpet down on top of it and try that again. But
this carpet here comes in squares and that, it's replaceable. If something is spilt in one spot, they can remove that
Yeah.
that square and
that's why we did the
replace it.
same thing at the library too.
Right, and it looks good down there.
Yeah.
And we could do something with the multi-purpose and,
Well, we'll get an estimate on what it would take to put carpet tiles in there and just see what the number comes out at, and I'll get.
I know when we had the 45th anniversary of the city down there, you couldn't hear nobody.
Yeah.
A lot of people had to go outside and talk because the echo was so bad down there. And that's a wonderful building if
It
we
is.
could get the
Well,
sound.
like I said, I'll check on we'll get an estimate on just what it would cost square footage wise, and I'll get back with you. We'll maybe discuss that at some point.
Anybody have anything else?
Just wanted to welcome our new member. We're excited to have you and look forward to working with you in the future. And I just want to make one other comment. I was at the Miss Laverne pageant this weekend. I'm not even sure what department that falls under, or if it's separate, but I wanted to congratulate all the participants. They all did a wonderful job, and I'm glad I never have to be a judge because they really had some tough choices, but I wanted to congratulate all the winners of Miss Laverne pageant this weekend, and it was a nice turnout, so
Anything else? I missed the Miss Laverne pageant because I was out of town on a required class that the elected officials got to take, and I was out of town that day. But on a good note, MTAS put on a class that's the state mandatory all elected officials to take, and I was with the first class that went through that course in the whole state. That was the first class that MTAS put on for the state, and I was on the first one back when they had the elected officials academy back in, I think it was 05. At that time, Vice Mayor Jerry Gann, he was the first one in the whole state to graduate step 1, step 2, and step 3. So I wasn't the very first one on step 1, step 2, step 3 on this course, but I was in the first class. I don't remember how many people it was, so I don't know if I was 1, 2, 3, or 15, but I was in the first class. So Laverne, the 2 times they've had that class for elected officials, both times Laverne has had an elected official that was on the first class. So Laverne is breaking ground good. And
There you go.
And with that, I'll call this meeting adjourned.
All right.